I'm Dr. Kay Fontana, spiritual grief and sound healing practitioner and founder of Healing Our Grieving Hearts. For 6 sacred years, I walked beside my husband as his caregiver after his cancer diagnosis until his passing in January 2023. His death, following 40 years of love, was the most profound loss of my life. I faced many kinds of losses, from family members to beloved pets, and through it all, I've come to understand grief not only as sorrow, but as a sacred passage. My mission now is to help you move through the darkness with grace, to honor your own process, and to remind you that healing is possible, even if your heart is broken wide open. You are not alone. This is the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. Today's episode is titled Moments of Grace, How to Notice Beauty in Every Day. Grief can make the world feel heavy, colorless, even hollow. And yet in the most unexpected places, we may glimpse something that softens us. A moment that gently whispers, "You are still here, and there is still beauty." When I speak of grace, I don't mean something unreachable. I mean the quiet flickers of beauty that arrive without warning. A soft breeze, a kind word, the wag of a dog's tail, or a patch of sunlight on the floor. A moment of grace is when something opens inside of us. It doesn't fix our grief, but it reminds us we're not lost in it. It might be brief, but it's real. I mentioned this moment before when not long ago after my husband Dave passed, I went outside and noticed the scent of the evening air. It was cool and moist, just like those Washington nights we loved and often talked about when we lived there. I didn't expect it. I just stood there, breathing it in, tears in my eyes. It was a moment of grace. Have you ever experienced something like that? A small moment that made you pause? It doesn't have to be big. Grace often speaks in whispers. When we're grieving, beauty is not just something nice. It is essential nourishment for the spirit. It's the soft thread that keeps us tethered to life when everything else feels like it's unraveling. Beauty reaches into the deepest ache and reminds us, even for a breath, that we are still here and that being here matters. Grace calms the storm in our nervous system, quiets the racing mind, and offers a gentle break from the constant weight we carry. In a world that can feel gray and muted after loss, beauty returns color. Sometimes slowly, like dawn creeping over the horizon, and sometimes in a sudden burst, like sunlight breaking through the heavy clouds. It reminds us that life, though forever changed, still holds moments worth noticing. Beauty shows up in endless forms. The pure, effortless songs of birds outside in your tree, the warmth of a cup of tea in your hands, sunlight spilling across your face carrying the memory of summer, a piece of music that pierces the silence and makes your heart ache in the best way, your dog resting their head on your lap, offering comfort without words, a friend texting, "I'm thinking of you," right when you feel invisible. Grief tends to narrow our focus. It pulls our gaze inward towards what we lost, often leaving little room for anything else. Beauty, even the smallest flicker of it, gently widens our view again. It doesn't erase the loss, but it helps us hold it with more tenderness. And here's something I believe with all my heart. Noticing beauty doesn't dishonor your grief. It doesn't mean you're moving on or forgetting. It means you're honoring the part of your soul that still longs to feel, to see, to connect. As Helen Keller so wisely wrote, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Even in sorrow, your heart still has eyes, and beauty is one way it remembers how to look. So how do we begin tuning into these small, fleeting moments of grace, especially when the heaviness of grief makes it feel impossible? The truth is, grace is always present. It's our awareness that needs gentle awakening. Here are a few soft practices to help open that door. Ask yourself each morning, when you first wake up, before the mind fills with to-do lists or worries, pause for a breath and ask, what beauty might I witness today? The question is an invitation. It primes your heart to be on the lookout for something lovely, a color, a sound, a feeling that you might have otherwise overlooked. It's like setting an inner compass towards grace. Create a grace journal. At the close of each day, write down one moment of beauty you noticed, no matter how small. Some days it might be a flower blooming in the crack of a sidewalk. Other days the moment is simply that you got out of bed and breathed through another day. That counts too. Over time, your journal becomes a mosaic of tender reminders that beauty has been here all along, even in the hard seasons. Take a grace walk. Step outside with a simple purpose to notice one lovely thing. It could be the way the wind dances through the trees, the soft colors in the evening sky, or the sound of a child's laughter carrying across a park. When we intentionally seek beauty, we start finding it more often, not because it wasn't there before, but because we finally opened the door to see it. Beauty lives in our senses. When we slow down enough to notice it, we return to the present moment. Smell the calming scent of lavender or fresh rain. Feel the warmth of your hands wrapped around a mug. Listen for the faintest notes of birdsong or the rustle of leaves in the breeze. These sensory anchors are like small lifelines that pull us out of the fog and back into the now. My mornings begin at 5 a.m., spending a couple hours outside with my dog, Dojo. Each morning before the summer heat sets in, we walk, play catch, or other times he's on high alert, guarding the fence or racing joyful laps around the backyard. While he's busy, I let myself simply notice. Birds flit in and out of the tree where they've built their nests. Overhead, geese fly overhead with their distinguishable honk, and now and then jets from the nearby Air Force Base roar in the distance. A gentle breeze will sometimes find me, cooling my skin and stirring the leaves on the trees. Those moments may seem ordinary, but to me, they're pure beauty and grace. Remember, this isn't about pretending everything is okay or forcing yourself to be cheerful. It's about learning to let grace and sorrow exist side by side, like two threads woven into the same cloth. Your grief can be honored and beauty can still be welcomed. They are not opposites, they are companions. There will be days, maybe many, when beauty feels far away. And that's okay. Sometimes we're too tired to see anything beyond the fog. On those days, just be kind to yourself. Let your only grace be breath, or rest, or the soft comfort of a blanket. And know this, grace doesn't disappear when we stop noticing it. It waits. It surrounds us even when we forget. You're not failing, you're healing. Repeat with me if this helps. Even when I can't see it, grace surrounds me. Let's close with a moment of stillness. Gently place your hand over your heart again and take a breath. Now reflect on one small grace you've noticed recently. Maybe a sunrise, a bird, a memory, a hug. Let that image rest in your heart. And repeat this affirmation aloud or silently. Today, I open my heart to the quiet beauty still rising all around me. If this episode speaks to your heart, please share it with someone who could benefit from it. The mission of Healing Our Grieving Hearts is to support women who are navigating life after loss of a spouse or soulmate, and those who are tenderly companioning their husbands through illness. Through spiritual support, sound and vibration therapies, and reflective practices, I help women find meaning, healing, and renewed purpose. For free resources, including tips on coping with grief and rediscovering joy, visit purpose.healingourgrievinghearts.com. And to connect with me on Facebook, you'll find me at facebook.com/k.fontana. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Healing Our Grieving Hearts podcast. Remember, you are not alone in your grief, and your experiences and emotions are valid. Join me next Saturday at 10 a.m. Arizona time as we continue to explore the human experience and reclaiming joy through small acts of self-care. Until next time, may your grief be held in compassion and your heart be held in light.